And so here are more remains of the Buddha. Seems like they're all jumbled up in there, kind of like blocks, just left over. I don't think they have any plans to build them. And there's more blocks over here, just different remains of all sorts. Not sure if they belong to the temple or to the walls or to statues, but the crowd is over here. And you may guess that this is one of the most popular attractions of the Ayutthaya ruins. Looks like folks are getting their picture taken. And yeah, there it is. And yep, there it is right there. The Buddha inside the tree. Wow. Looks like folks are excited to get a picture for the gram, for the talk. Oh, wow. There it is right there. And like I was saying, this particular statue may have a few background histories. Looks like someone may have decapitated and threw it into the tree. But yeah, wow. And so taking a little look at taking a little deeper look into this, it says this is the headstone of a sandstone Buddha image. All that remains of the sandstone Buddha image is part of its head, while the body obviously has disappeared. The head is in the style of the Ayutthaya period. It lies beneath the Bodhi tree besides the minor Wihans. And one of the interesting things is, it says here, please do not stand over the Buddha's head, pay respect. So I think what they mean is that you cannot stand or sit within this vicinity, as if covering the head from this view, or maybe this view. No, just a straight view. So they don't want you to be over or covering the head of the Buddha. I think that's fascinating, right? Wow. And so looks like everybody's getting their picture with the Buddha head inside the tree. The tree, very beautiful. It almost looks like the trees in Angkor Wat, the Tomb Raider tree, or the Tomb Raider temple. You can see there's a Buddha there, different decapitated Buddhas. And one of the things I noticed is that the spire is leaning. You can see that it has a lean to it. And it almost reminds me of the Tower of Pisa. It almost reminds me of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Could be the Leaning Spire of Ayutthaya. Maybe that's a new one. But another thing I noticed here is the pattern on this chair is inspired by the balustrades on the wall of the principal sermon hall of Wat Mahatat. So you can see that the pattern here is almost reflective of that wall up there. That's pretty interesting. They definitely have different integrations. And so it looks like this is an early 20th century BE, before. Due to its supremely important position, the temple was an object of constant attention, receiving occasional additions and restorations of the time. Porticos were added in 4 cardinal directions. So looks like they also have that cardinality essence, and they have the 4 cardinals into their architecture, just like in Angkor Wat. And the stupas are there too. Wow. Well, I just met some really nice folks here. Looks like they are doing their travels. And yeah, that's one of the things about traveling, is that you never know who you're gonna find on the road, right? And I think that's the beautiful part of traveling. You meet very like-minded folks. They're doing different trips, they're doing different routes, and I think that's so great. I think I've met so many folks here that share the common interest of traveling, and they find traveling to be just very interesting and very fascinating. But going back to the Ayutthaya ruins, looks like this is one of the principal areas here. Lots of spires. Wow. And you can see how this place was just has just and you can see how this place has almost been left in relics. Wow. My gosh. And you can there's a lot of these Buddhas that are just left over, especially here. Wow. And looks like a lot of this area has just been left broken down, especially the Buddhas here. You can see one of the hands right here. It's very interesting. The fingers were cut off, and looks like they tried to put the body on there. I don't think that's the correct torso, but wow. Looks like a lot of these Buddhas are just placed in this area. Another thing that I'm noticing is that the wall is not particularly straight, so you can see that the wall is kind of like dipped a little bit or slanted. So wow, a lot of these spires are on the main around the main building there. It's just fascinating how part of the Buddhas are still there, just as a remembrance, I guess you could say. Just as, I guess the Buddhas are here as remembrance of what they once were. And speaking of Ayutthaya, I believe, I'm not sure, that one of the things that I enjoyed when I was a kid was playing Street Fighter, and I believe that Ayutthaya was one of the backdrops to the Street Fighter game. Maybe I may have to look into that, but that's just one interesting trivia point. You can see this Buddha was left intact, or almost intact. The color may be not to where it was before, but wow, just fascinating. Another thing that I learned about Ayutthaya is that this was a big trading area. There's lots of trades. A lot of the folks from China and from Eastern Europe, or some of the European countries, came here to do a lot of trading. So it was kind of like the in-between point between Europe, India, and China. So I can see how this kind of became the center of trading, at least within this region. Wow. I'd like to see how this looked like with some CGI or with some kind of I think it would be awesome to see how this looked like in a series or something of that nature. Looks like there's a pond over there. Wow. And there's one of those other things again. It's not necessarily, I don't think it's a furnace or an oven or anything like that, but it looks like there's an entry in there. Not really sure what that is, but it seems like it could be used as maybe like an area of worship, or an area to enter or hang out, or not really sure, but here it is again. This is another one right here. Yeah, I'm not sure what this could be used for. Very interesting. Maybe just like a special worshiping area. Wow. And there's another one over there, just deep down over there. Very beautiful area here, just different surroundings, the spires, the ancient ruins just look amazing. Wow. And to note that this is all made from bricks. Huh. And there's a giant river, or there's a giant pond over there, or lake. Pond or lake, not sure. I'd like to say it's a pond just because of its size, but I could be wrong. Very fascinating area. And here are more leaning spires. So you can see that there's an angle right here. So the leaning, that one's leaning. Some of these are just leaning. Wow. And another thing that I also noticed, actually last night I was walking around here and I saw that the temple lights up at night. So that may be why the solar panels are placed around this area. But there are lights just about everywhere at night. You see these little baskets up here. There's these baskets right up here. And those baskets have a light. So these baskets will light up kind of like a golden color, and they pretty much light up this whole area. Very beautiful area. I'll see if I can come back tonight and see if I can get a shot. But yeah, you can see these towers right here are leaning. Very interesting. You can see these towers are leaning, kind of creating a V shape. You can see this tower is leaning up a little bit and this tower is leaning in this way. So very interesting leaning spires. And here is the mock-up. Here is the mock-up once again. Just very, very beautiful. Just to see how it all looked like back in the day. It almost looks like there were homes. You can see on the outer areas, it looks like maybe those could serve as a home or maybe a place of residence of sorts. And then the main area. And then the main area served as the main worship site. Another thing I wanted to know were these tuk-tuks. These tuk-tuks look so different from other tuk-tuks that I've seen. Take a look at that. They almost have like a futuristic view to them. Almost like the car from Mr. Bean maybe, but take a look at that. Wow. I've never seen tuk-tuks like this with the sharp nose. It's almost like a truck tuk-tuk and then a sharp nose there. It's very interesting. Wow. Yeah, those tuk-tuks look very different. Even look at this one. From the front, it reminds me of the car from Mr. Bean. The one he tips over all the time. I think it's blue, right? Blue or white? Yellow? No, yellow is his car. But yeah, he tips that one blue car all the time. He always tips it over. So when I first came here and I saw that tuk-tuk, I'm like, what the? That's Mr. Bean's arch enemy car. So I don't know. But yeah, so now I'm going to this area. I'm not sure which area this represents. One thing I noticed about this area as I was riding my bicycle is that there are a handful of photographers on the other side, and I am curious to see what they're taking a picture of, because those cameras, the lens was so massive. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen the lenses like that. I mean, I've seen them in magazines and videos and catalogs, but never in real person, and they're all lined up over there. So I want to see what exactly they're taking a picture of, because their cameras were pointed that way. But yeah, let's see what it's all about. There's some more ruins here. You got the decapitated Buddha. You got another one of the major spires here. Wow, and it looks like there is some lighting. And it looks like there's some lighting here. You can see the solar panels on this way. I think I gotta go this way. I don't think this spire is getting much attraction like the other ones. I think it's because the other one has that Buddha. I think it's because the other one has the Buddha inside that tree, so that makes sense. So I am here outside of the Ayutthaya ruins, and this gentleman here has told me that the photographers, I think professional photographers, are taking a picture of a bird. Some of this equipment, he told me, is worth up to $3,000. And so he mentioned that they come here every morning to take a picture of a bird, and there's one specific bird that they take a picture of. It's called hoopoe or hoopa? Hoopoe, I think. And the bird is in this specific tree. And so every day they come to take the picture of the bird. And he's shown me some pictures and they look extraordinary. He said the pictures range up to 24 megapixels, but I have never seen so many enthusiasts I've never seen so many enthusiasts trying to capture a picture of one specific bird and one specific tree. And this is the hottest tree right here. It looks like that's the tree that produces the best pictures. And so you can see that folks here have this wonderful equipment here. My gosh, these pictures, I mean, I'm using a regular camera, but these folks have the biggest lenses. My gosh, wow, I can't believe how big their cameras are. I've never seen cameras that big, and I almost thought it was a telescope, to be honest. When I was riding down this street, I'm like, what are they looking at? Because honestly, I thought they were taking a picture of this whole land area over here, like just the panorama maybe. But come to find out, the pictures are for one specific bird, and that bird is somewhere in that tree. I can't even see the bird. I don't know where the bird is. It's somewhere hidden in there, but they've used like ultimate zoom to find the bird and then steadily take pictures of it. I see a few birds flying around, but not to the degree that those cameras can see them. And they've been here for a few hours now, I think, just trying to get the perfect picture for the bird. And I'm trying to see where that bird is, but I see no signs of the bird. I just see the bird flying around, but I don't see it like actually situated. The tree is right there, but I just don't see the bird. Where is that bird? You can see some of these folks over here. They have some of these, I mean, ginormous cameras. Wow. Yeah, those cameras just put my camera to shame. Very, very big cameras. But one of the interesting things that I see here is this area right here. Isn't this beautiful? I thought they would want to take a picture of this area. This area looks amazing. Wow. Especially with the plants right here. Wow, this is gorgeous right here. I'd be taking a picture of this too if I had one of those giant cameras. But okay, I think I saw the bird. He just flew into that tree. Oh, looks like they're flying over this garden area. Wow. Just amazing. Never knew this. And actually, one of the things he said is that he takes those pictures. I thought he sold them. Like, I thought he's maybe he printed them and then he sold them online, or maybe he made frames or anything of that nature. No, he just said it's a hobby. He comes here every day, takes the pictures, and he posts them on Facebook. So yeah, I'm not really sure what this group is all about. Maybe it's a club and they take different points of view of the bird. But wow, very incredible. My gosh, it's almost like I'm watching them. It's like they're watching the bird and I'm watching them watch the bird. But just fascinating just to see. There must be at least like 10 or 12 different cameras here. Wow, it's amazing. I didn't know this was a thing here in Ayutthaya, but very cool. So here's a gentleman that has his camera. He's allowed me to kind of record the camera, and he said this camera was almost around $2,000. Wow, I can't believe the lens is so big. Wow, my gosh. And so all the nice features are here. Wow. Oh, that's the bird. And so you can see the bird. He's taking pictures of the bird. The bird is situated on that tree over there. Like I was over there earlier, but the tree is over there. And there's a picture of that famous bird. Hopo bird or something. And so I think what he's doing is he's scoping out this landscape or the panorama to see where the birds land. But what I hear is that the birds are very well nested in this particular tree for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Very incredible camera, very incredible setup. And I would have never imagined that here in Ayutthaya there would be a bird watching or bird picture taking club. I don't know if it's a club, but wow, just an incredible camera here. Definitely puts my camera to shame, but yeah, wow. Oh my gosh, the bird just landed. Oh my goodness, I just saw the bird flapping its wings and he sprung right into action. Wow, everybody just moved their camera so quickly and aimed it right at that branch right there. The bird is, oh, yeah, my camera didn't get it, but
No good.
you didn't get it? You didn't get it? No?
Good, no good, no good, no good.
Really? You didn't get the picture of the bird? Almost. Oh yeah, right there, yeah.
No good.
No good? Really? Oh. How many pictures do you take? Like 20 or? Wow. Shit. Wow. So wow. Yeah, he took at least like 20 pictures in 1 second. I just heard the camera. Wow. But yeah, definitely. I mean, once that bird flapped its wing around that branch, all the cameramen just sprung into action and they moved their lenses right into that position, but looks like he wasn't able to get the right picture. And wow, maybe next time, hopefully the bird swings by again and he's able to get all the pictures he wants. Wow.